chaps, it's done. This video hopefully won't be, excuse me, too long, he says. But the writing process is always an intriguing one when you do these novel writing month things with Nano, because what doesn't help is I'm going to perhaps try and put up either along the bottom here or after the video, is that you get on the website. It's meant to help you out, really. Yeah, before they changed it, I should say, before last year, last November, you simply added your writing total in and you got a little graph telling you where you were, and it would say essentially when you were meant to be finishing if you carried on writing the average you were doing. And then they updated the website, so you got it shows you where you are, so you know whatever out of, in this case, 40,000, what words are needed today. It says affinity because I tried doing it today without thinking, and then it tells you how many days in a row you've done it. Now I've done 30 days straight, but on the main page it reckons I haven't done 30 consecutive days, and now I got my 5 days in a row badge, for instance, 21 days ago, which is 6 days in, so apparently it hasn't counted the first day. And now you get the graph, of course, showing you the overall progress, and as you might be able to see here or afterwards, it stayed underneath where I should have been all the way through until almost the end, and it hasn't stayed far away from it. I thought 40,000 would be easier target than 50, and I've ultimately done around about 42,000. Now you get a little thing up the side. Whenever you enter your words, whatever you've written on that day, it shows you. So as you might be able to see, rather inconsistent. I couldn't really get going with this project, it's weird. And then you now get a graph below you showing your daily word count, and as you see, only once went over 4,000 and not often past 2,000 words in a day. I don't know what it was. I think I don't write well at home. You know, I'm distracted by things. I've now gotten into a certain routine of doing things, so I usually left my writing until when it got dark, because, you know, I read during the day. And that's not to say I don't, you know, I can't read. I do turn lights on, but I don't read as such. But the writing process, you know, you see the website and you keep pushing it, and you write through sometimes for the sake of it. Is it a good story? I don't know. People might read it that I know and say, you know, it's not too shabby. People might not like it. I think I wrote myself into a corner as far as the island's concerned. I didn't really bring in a rational, logical explanation. If anything, I explained it away logically, in the sense that you can't explain it logically, if that makes sense. It's a bit of a weird one. The whole idea of it really was to sort of pay tribute to the books I grew up reading, the films I grew up watching, from like Ealing and these 50s, any other 50s film, and Clive Cussler novels in particular. When he died earlier this year, it was March now, wasn't it? I thought I'd pay tribute as such with this story. And the story, like most of my projects, I started a while ago and just left it after a page or two. Couldn't really, so I rewrote it. I slapped in a prologue set in the past, like Clive Cussler used to do, and it sort of helped it in a way. It did mean that I had to keep telling myself that you have to kind of link to what you've just written. And the thing is, back in the day, May 2000, so bloody hell, 15 years already. I read once that Clive Cussler replied to letters, and I thought cheekily, I want to reply from Clive Cussler. And I didn't actually expect anything, really. So, as you might be able to see, that's my old address, I don't mind. I don't think that address works anymore, but I still got it. And it's one of my treasured possessions, especially because he took the time to write to me. The handwriting's always a bit much for me, but let's see. Dear Matthew, thank you for your nice letter and a well-plotted idea for a Pitt story. I wrote a little silly short story with his lead character, Dirk Pitt. He had other series, Isaac Bell, the Kurt Austin books, Fargo Adventures, and I'm missing one, the Oregon Files. I'm probably missing another one. If you want to, and I asked him about how can I write stories. If you want to study the Southern Author you admire. Something about how they, something in a story. Then plotting, characters and writing style. Then copy them, brackets, not their story, end brackets, with your own creative plot. Best of luck, Clive Cussler. I'm sure that says eventful, the eventful, meaningful, favourite author. The successful author. Determine or... Well, I'm not really good reading people's handwriting, but... you know, when he said, don't copy the story, I mean, I don't. But... I don't know what my next project will be. I've got to finish my alternate history third story, just get it done for the sake of it. The next camp, NaNoWriMo, is in July, and if I'm still furloughed by then, I might try. If I'm back in work, I won't have time to do it. I always do the November one, and last one was, it was intriguing in the sense that somehow I did it. I'd get home from work and I was far too tired to think straight, or I'd never have enough time if I had a late finish. I'm not setting foot through my door until almost 9 o'clock, and so we'll see. But that was Passport from South Pimlico, and we'll see where the wind takes us for subsequent stories.